You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, today is Saturday the 25th of January 2025 and you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, and I've had a bit of a kind of slump today. I haven't managed to, achieve anything really. I think yesterday me feeling anxious always leaves me then, because that's an exhausting day. When the anxiety kicks in, you end up feeling just exhausted, basically. I know I've said exhausted several times now, but you just feel knackered. And so today my intention was to do stuff, and I couldn't sleep last night, which again always happens when I've had an anxious day. So I was still awake at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then ended up getting up at about 10 o'clock, not having had that much sleep, again with the intention of doing stuff, and yeah, it just didn't happen. So all the good little things I was going to do today, there's some bits and pieces sitting at my local Waitrose that I've ordered from John Lewis, bathroom stuff. I haven't gone and collected them. There's a couple of books arrived for me at my local bookshop. Haven't collected them, and they don't open on a Sunday or a Monday, so I can't pick those up till Tuesday. So, yeah, all in all, I can't explain. So I've got no writing done today. This is kind of what happened last week. I had a good day at the start, and then days where I achieved nothing in the middle, although this hopefully isn't quite as bad, but we shall see. I was really hoping that I'd get a couple of thousand words written today, but I've sort of opened the laptop and looked at the words on the screen, and it's just not today. So instead, I've watched a bit of telly. Yesterday, I finished reading the Terry Pratchett book I was reading, Lords and Ladies, which I think is the 14th book in the Discworld series, and it's weird because the book immediately before it was called Small Gods, and it seemed a bit of a change in direction. So whilst it was funny still, there was actually a situation that was quite serious, and the bad guys in it, or the bad guy in it, was quite a bad guy. He wasn't a comedy villain, he was just nasty. Lords and Ladies is set around the witches that first appeared in, I think, Equal Rights, and they're in Witches Abroad, and they're kind of, what I like about Discworld is, although it's a series of, I think, 41 books, whatever it is, there are little smaller series within that. So you've got the stuff set around Rincewind, you've got the stuff set around Death, you've got the stuff set around the Three Witches, you've got stuff set around the Night Watch at the City Ankh-Morpork, and so on. So there's lots of these mini sub-series within the main series. So this one was a continuation of the Witches story, and I think it's the fourth Witches story. But once again, the baddies in it were properly bad. The situations were properly, quite nasty and quite serious. And so at the end, when something happens to one of the main characters, you actually think it's for real, because, it isn't, spoiler alert, but you actually, because the story, although it's funny, there's some wonderful, funny dialogue, and the characters are still quirky and amusing, but the overall underlying seriousness of it, of these kind of weird elves invading from another dimension through crop circles, it just feels... Yeah, so I don't know if that's a turning point. I don't know if Small Gods was a turning point where he started writing like that deliberately, but I hope so, because I've enjoyed Small Gods and Lords and Ladies much more than anything since kind of like some of the very early ones, like Mort and The Light Fantastic. Having said that, the book I should have been reading today, which is my book club book, which we're due to discuss on Wednesday, haven't even started yet. So, So, yeah, what else have I done today? I'm rewatching, because David Lynch died recently, I'm rewatching Twin Peaks. I own it all on Blu-ray. I've been meaning to watch it for absolutely ages. And I'd kind of, this has been the reason I needed, and I'd forgotten how completely weird it was. So it's kind of... It feels like it's the real world. It feels like a sort of normal drama, but then there's stuff going on underneath which is a bit surreal, but but makes sense. It's a very odd show. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, you watch episode 1 and it looks like it's a serious murder mystery drama, you know, who killed Laura Palmer. But more into episode 5 and we've got secret cults and drug runners and evil spirits and an FBI agent literally taking clues from dreams he's had. Sometimes my arms bend back, said backwards but played forwards. Very, very weird. Yeah, so it's very interesting, that. It's a very, very good show. And the thing is, I've never watched the new. They did another series. It's not that recently now. It's about 7 years ago. But basically, the series was cancelled in 91. And then it came back in 2018. They did another series, which some people call it an event series as a separate show. Some people list it as season 3. I don't know which to list it as yet because I've not seen it, but I'm working towards it. Season 1 was really short. It was only, I think, 8 episodes. And I've already watched 5 of them. So yes, I'm watching Twin Peaks. And hopefully at some point, hopefully tomorrow, we shall see how my broken brain goes. Hopefully tomorrow I shall continue writing. Oh, you know what? I've waffled on. And the one thing I really wanted to mention, I've completely forgotten. So sorry, this is going to overrun very, very slightly. So, as you know, I champion British music a lot. Tomorrow will be the release of my latest British Artists Top 40. But my aunt is a musician. And her artist name is Roberta Smith. And she's released an absolutely gorgeous song. Came out yesterday, and it's called Shade and Shelter. It's absolutely lovely, and it's available now to buy or to stream. And, you know, I think we should support British artists. So I would be very, very pleased if you would go to my website, which is listed in the show notes, and the link tree listed at the end of this show. And the most recent article on there that was published today is about that. And I'll actually put a link to the specific article in the show notes rather than just the website, in case somebody's coming to this a few days later when I've written other articles. But yeah, it's a really gorgeous little song, and it's beautifully produced. It's got lovely melody. As I said in the article, there's a little chord change or a little moment where it just goes somewhere slightly unexpected, and it's gorgeous, and it just kind of gives me goosebumps. So Shade and Shelter by Roberta Smith is available to buy or to stream on the major streaming platforms. So have a look, because I've put shortcuts to all of that on the article. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll be back, hopefully having been slightly more productive tomorrow. Thank you, bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.